What is going on, YouTube? This is Jim back with another headphone review. Here to give you guys today my thoughts on the Arctis 7Ps. Now, before I get into the nitty-gritty of today's video, I want to say thank you guys so much for the support I've gotten on my other headphone videos. They've garnered me close to 700 new subscribers, and it's through support from you guys with your comments, your likes, and obviously your subscriptions has helped my tiny little channel gain enough monetization to be able to score a pair of these SteelSeries for you guys to review. So thank you before I even get into anything else. If you guys like what you see, let's keep that train rolling. But enough of that. Let's talk about these headphones. Now, I want to say that this is not a comparison video to my Sennheisers or to the Astros or to the Pulse 3Ds or any other headphones I have discussed on my channel. Now, I may talk about them a little bit, but I want to specifically focus today on these. And I have to say up front, these are now my go-to headphones on my PlayStation 5 with or without 3D audio. They are that good. Now, what are these headphones? Well, they're headphones that are wireless, no duh. They run $150 US. They work with any USB-C device or any USB-A device with the adapter, which is included in the box. So these are going to work on your Nintendo Switch or your PC or an Android phone. They are closed back, despite the fact that they do have cloth foam pads. I'll get to those in a second. They are closed back. What does that mean? Well, it means it's going to trap the sound in a lot better, but it also means it's going to trap in the heat. Thankfully, these headphones have this nice felt that I just alluded to, and this felt allows for a significantly more breathable experience than the Pulse headphones or any other headphones that have plastic or pleather that do trap in the sound, but they do trap in the heat. And that's what I love about the SteelSeries so much. So they are definitely not going to be 100% noise canceling. You are going to get a bit of ambient noise behind you, but it's not a lot. But it does allow you to breathe a little bit better, and for that, I love them. Now let's talk about what the controls are and how they integrate into your PlayStation 5. First and foremost, you do have a wireless, these are wireless, you have a wired microphone here that you could just pull in or pull out, and if you don't want to use it, you don't have to. If you want to, you can pull it out. It does have a dedicated mute button, I should mention as well, on the ear cup, where you can press a button and actually mute the headphones. However, if you're using them on your PlayStation 5, which is why I bought them, the mute button on the PlayStation controller will also mute these as well. So if you don't ever want to take your hands off the controller, you can just press that center mute button. It will mute this for you. Even though this microphone thinks it's on, the PlayStation will mute it, which is nice. And you're going to notice a couple other times I'm going to mention the fact that these have a separate control scheme from the PlayStation because they're not as integrated as the officially licensed Pulse 3D headphones. The volume, for example, there are separate volumes. There is a volume that is on your PlayStation console that you can slide up and down on the GUI. There is also a separate volume wheel on these headphones. So you have two separate volumes. Now, I personally like that. And the reason I like that is because I feel like I can make the hardware push the sound a little bit better. So I like to lower the volume on my PlayStation down to about half or maybe 50, 60%, and I like to turn this up louder on the actual wheel on here. I want the hardware here to be pushing the sound. Now that's a preference, but I want to mention that they're not as integrated as the official licensed solution. On top of the microphone mute and the volume mute, you also have a side tone that you can raise and lower as well. That's going to be to allow you to hear yourself talking. That's great for mic checks if you want to stream. It also has a power button, and you can also wire it in directly if you want to as well. It does not have integrated party to game audio in the earphones. You have to do that from the PlayStation GUI. I don't think that's a big deal though. So it comes, let's talk about some of the performance of it, okay? The wireless dongle is phenomenal. I personally plug it into the front of my PlayStation 5 via the USB-C port. Now, that does block the USB-A port unless you use the dedicated, it's about a 2-foot long cable that's like an extender. That will convert the USB-C input to USB-A, which will then allow you to use the other USB-A port on the front of your console or the 2 USB-A ports on the back. For me, the only things I have plugged into my console are my external hard drive and my Arctis 7Ps. So I have the headphones on the front because I feel like that's a better line of sight to me. There's no console in the way, and I use my external hard drive on the back. I want to point out, I think it's very, very important to separate the external hard drive from the wireless dongle. You will experience interference, and I'm not just talking about the Arctis. I'm talking about any wireless headphone you have. Do your best to separate those as much as possible. One on the front of the console, one on the back. It's going to increase your range, your clarity, your dropouts. In terms of range, I've had no issues with this thing on range. Practically, I don't know how far people are going to wander from their TV. The way my upstairs room is laid out, it's a 17 by 42 foot giant, just like hallway room. It's just one giant long room. I can, with my TV in the corner, I can walk all the way to the opposite side of the room, and it's a direct line of sight. It's 42 feet away. Absolutely no issues. So I don't think you're going to have a problem with range. Obviously, as you have more things in front of you, walls, couches, other electronic devices, you may start to see some drop off in range, but I have yet to ever have these things completely cut out on me or where the sound skip. That has yet to happen one time. No interference, no issues with that at all. I think the microphone quality is good. I don't think it's great. I don't think any headphones honestly have great microphone quality, not like something like my Blue Yeti, for example. But it will do the job well enough. I have talked to my friends, and they say I sound more clear than on my Pulse 3D headphones. However, I sound slightly quieter, which I find really odd because I scream. And not that I mean to, it's just growing up, both my parents are practically deaf, so to be heard, I had to be loud. So I'm always kind of watching my voice because I can get very loud if I need to. I've had no issues streaming with these, doing recordings with these. I tried them on my gaming computer. They sounded just fine. My friends playing with me on other games on the PC side had no issues hearing me. So I don't think you're going to have any issue with the sound quality. The nice thing is, or the microphone quality rather, and the nice thing is because it does have a boom arm that allows you to wiggle it back and forth. If you really want to get it really close to your mouth, you can. You don't have to worry about, well, it's wireless and they're integrated into the cups. No, you can move it as close or far as you want. And I think with the microphone monitoring, you're going to be able to kind of hear, what you think you need to hear without being a breather, because no one wants a mouth breather, okay? So the sound quality, I think, is where a lot of people probably are most interested in, and that's what really drew me to these. In terms of the out-of-the-box experience, they sound great. By default, they're just on a flat equalizer. So I've done videos in the past with my Astro A40s with MixAmp talking about the sound quality, particularly with how I like to adjust the equalizer settings to get better sound effects in games like Call of Duty, or how I like to hear a more dynamic experience in games like Days Gone, or even 3D audio games, really, like Demon Souls, I think, is a showcase game for the 3D audio technology. So by default, these are just a flat equalizer setting and they sound great. However, if you're like me, you can download the SteelSeries Engine 3, which is their hub for all SteelSeries products, and they do work with the Arctis. and you can connect your Arctis and you can adjust equalizer settings, which is a amazing thing. Now, if you don't know anything about equalizer settings, don't worry. They put in, I want to say it's about half a dozen predefined equalizer settings for you. Performance, immersion, music, movies, and they have already adjusted everything for you. I went through each and every one of them painstakingly, playing games, listening to my tried and true, the Kiss test, as I've said on my other things where I watch Kiss music videos, because I've heard them so many times on YouTube. I know exactly how they're supposed to sound. And I gotta say, they all sound great. Obviously, if you're playing games, you're gonna probably prefer performance over the other things, particularly with footsteps, particularly in Call of Duty. But they all sound great. If you never touch the equalizer and you just take them out of the box and put them on your head, you're gonna be fine. But if you want that tweak and that extra little bit of performance, it's there for you. And I think that's what really raises the stock for me so much, because I really liked the Astro profile that I had. I shared it on my channel a couple weeks ago. And I love that I'm able to tweak all that stuff and sit there and adjust all the gains and look online and get other ideas from other players and kind of find what works best for me. And you'll do the same for you. There's no golden ear, so to speak. But the equalizer is a massive pro for me in this department. In terms of the battery life, they are advertised, believe it or not, as a 24-hour battery life. And you know what? They're not lying. I can easily get 24 hours out of these headphones, almost on maximum volume. They sound great. They last forever. They charge, it comes with the USB cable. You can plug it right into your PlayStation and charge it when you're not using it, unless you have the dongle blocking the port. In my case, I do have a dedicated wall outlet with USB ports. I plug the cord in. A full charge, a full charge will take you about 2 hours maybe. And they do have a quick charge. So if they die, you can get, I think, like 30% charge in like the first 20 minutes or something. So like if you're wrapping up a game and you're like, oh, I don't want my headphones to die, I don't want to wire them, you can plug them in for a quick boost and keep on going, which is great. 3D audio support works. I'm going through my punch list here of things that I know, common questions that I've seen in my other YouTube videos. So if my thoughts seem a little sporadic, I have a list on my monitor over here. I'm reading through everything to make sure I didn't miss anything. 3D audio is supported because it's using the USB port. The PlayStation recognizes this headphone officially as an output, as an input source. Note that unlike the Pulse 3D headphones, though, if you turn this headphone off, you have to tell the PlayStation to change the audio source back to HDMI. So it's not as integrated in that sense. The PlayStation will always default to these as your primary input and output device, even if they're not on. So if you turn on your PlayStation, like, why isn't my soundbar working? It's most likely because you didn't change your audio output back to HDMI. But 3D audio does work. It sounds phenomenal. As I mentioned with the equalizer settings, I think you can really dial in a really nice sound profile that's great for your specific needs and the way you like to process and hear sound. I played my tried and true Demon Souls with 3D audio. I was highly impressed by the amount of immersion. I still maintain 3D audio support is lacking in non-PlayStation first-party titles. So games like Call of Duty, Assassin's Creed Valhalla will sound like garbage with your your 3D audio settings enabled. You definitely do not want to use them. But if you want to and you like muddy sound, at least it sounds very muddy to me, hey, I'm not judging. You can use 3D audio without issue on these headphones. You can turn it on and off. You can adjust it. Everything you can do with the officially licensed Pulse 3D headphones, you can do with the SteelSeries Arctis 7Ps without any issue. So to me, my final thoughts on these are my go-to headphones. They are incredibly comfortable. The felt definitely lets your ears breathe significantly more. I think the color scheme actually matches pretty well with the PlayStation console with the white and the black. I love the fact that the microphone has a nice boom to it where you can pull it in and out, adjust it close to your mouth, adjust it far away from your mouth without any issue. And as I haven't said 1,000 times in this video, the equalizer is a game changer. So to me, this is just my opinion, one man's opinion. The SteelSeries headphones right here, this is the definitive way to enjoy PlayStation 5 games. Now, in another video later in the week, I will be going through my particular equalizer settings for Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War. So if you have a lot of questions about what are your equalizer settings, I promise you that video is going to be coming later in the week. I will deep dive that and walk you through my settings. I'll open up the actual application on my computer and do a screenshot and walk you through why I picked them. I'll walk you through what all the equalizer settings do, and I'll show you some of the game options you're going to want to change to get some amazing sound. And let me tell you, with these headphones, wow, I have an unfair advantage. Once again, unfair competitive advantage because I can hear everything. So with that, I think I'm going to wrap up this video here. Again, thank you guys so much for the support and the encouragement and the comments to help my channel grow. This headphone would not be possible if it wasn't for you guys. So thank you all from the bottom of my heart. I hope you found this video informative. As with all my other videos, leave me comments. You guys know I'm responding as fast as I can to each and every one of you. If there's anything I did not address about this particular set of headphones, please let me know. I do videos all the time. It wouldn't be too hard to do another one to answer some specific questions. With that, I am out of here. Thank you guys so much for watching. Take care of yourselves. And until next time, I will see you guys on the other side.